There was a movie about your stuff. Are you allowed to discuss any of that?
We can hit the high points. So
high points, the high points.
Yeah. So
how was it? Did you like that movie?
I keep saying I got to go back and watch it so we're talking Captain Phillips. So I was part of that. Thankfully I loved it. Like of my almost 30-year career, there was two missions where we brought Americans home that I was on. Like Captain Phillips one, and then Jessica Lynch was the other one. Like I was part of both of those.
You were part of Jessica Lynch.
One of like the hundreds of people over there.
Holy shit!
But like,
downplay it. One of the hundreds of people there.
But of all the stuff that we do, that's exactly. But that's exactly why we do our jobs. Like, our job is to bring Americans home, right? Number one, like kill bad guys are awesome, but if there's a chance to bring an American home, we do that. Yeah. So Captain Phillips, I was forward deployed to Eastern Africa doing some work over there. Small team of guys, and my boss calls me. And I'm in another country away from the rest of the guys, doing some work for some 3-letter guys. And my boss calls me. It's like 8 o'clock at night or something. It's like, hey, are you watching the news? I'm like, no, sir. Obviously, I'm not. I'm working at the bar or wherever I was at. So I get back to the hotel, turn the news on. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I call him like, do I got to come back? I'm like, what's going on? I was like, no, just keep an eye on it. There's nothing we can do at this point. They're just too far out to sea. Fast forward like 5:30 in the morning, phone calls like, we need you back here now. So I don't know if you guys have ever been to Africa, but it's not easy to get from one country to the next.
All the time. It's one of our big. Nick, what's your passport?
Get me your fastest Toyota.
So unlike the movies, there's no black helicopters that are meeting me on the street and flying me to the embassy. So
can I say the movie quote without you murdering me here real quick? Can I say look at you?
Life's like a box of chocolate.
No,
you ain't got no legs.
I am the captain now. I just wasn't sure if I was going to.
It's funny because I get that meme every year on my birthday. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I got good friends.
I got the chocolate with 300 black guys.
Hard touch. Like this. He's sleepy. He's all tuckered out over there. What's that liquid sound?
Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
Anyway, so it takes me like all day to get back to the embassy, get in there, get the debrief, and luckily the rest of my team, like 6 guys, they're doing the brief. I got my CCT and my PJ guys they're briefing the Bainbridge because we're going to jump in, sit down, do the whole thing, and my boss at this point is like, hey, all we need to do, or your job until everybody else gets there, is just to keep Captain Phillips in the boat out to sea. Don't let him get to shore. Because when they're out there, I have a self-contained little problem in a boat. We know what we have. It's control. It's a little bit of variables, but it's very doable, or whatever you want to call it. English is not my. I need another one.
You were the captain now.
I was like,
Get this man another drink.
Yeah, whatever it is.
I might steal one of your White Claws.
Yeah, fire it up there,
Get it.
senior. But so we get over there, we do the debriefs, we get all the way back across there, jump in the plane, fly the coast, get all our gear, parachutes, guns, all that stuff. We jump in the airplane and we fly out. At this point, it's April. I think it's April. So April in Indian Oceans, there's a lot of thunderstorms. So you skydive for it. So then there's a lot of rules I broke, but one of the rules was in normal military free fall, you have to be able to see the DZ. And when we're jumping into the water, I have to be able to see my ground crew. So we're out there, we're buzzing out, and we are like essentially the max range of what this aircraft will do. Pilot comes on, we do a couple passes. I've got the sensor operators in the back, and they're like, we can hear the guys on radio because we're talking to them. We know they're here somewhere. We just can't see them physically. And then we're doing a pass. Pilot comes on and says, hey, we're about bingo on fuel. We probably do another pass. And then we're going to have to come home. We have no other options. And about that same time, he's telling me that on radio, clouds break a little bit. I see a wake. Sensor operator slings it over a little bit, and I just see the tail fan of the Bainbridge. I'm like, fucking, and Matt's on the back. We already got the green light to go because we know we're close. I'm like, go. So we just run out of there as fast as we can to skydive in, and everybody was safe, and we made it to the boat. And
What's the winds and the, like you?
I don't know,
saying
we're
you're
like
just-
4,500 feet or so. Like we're low.
Oh, it's a low.
It's a hot
It is a fucking pop it. Like
it's hot,
literally, you're
jump
jumping
out,
up, you're
pop,
popping it.
and,
Yeah.
go down. So I don't know what the winds.
Okay, just for reference, if you're doing this commercial, you're jumping at like 15 to 20, and you're
Normal
opening.
skydiving, yeah.
Yeah, and you're opening at 5,500. What he's saying, you are jumping out and going like this. Okay. And
Were you even
1,000,
born, or was it
2,000.
static line?
What's that?
Was it stat?
Oh,
like
free
no,
fall.
this is free.
Yeah.
This is
we're
1,000, 2,000
fucking
pulling.
SEALs, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. It's not
Dude,
the
that-
Marine Corps or the Rangers or any of that shit.
Wow, dude, this
just-
is like you're jumping out the back. You're not hitting this. You're hitting the slide in immediate, like,
Yeah.
just 1, 2, wave, pull. Everyone get in formation. Holy shit.
You're jumping.
Terry, where'd you land?
In Indian Ocean. No sharks. No sharks.
Would have landed on the boat. Why didn't you?
Because the boat hurts when you're skydiving. The water is soft. It's wet. I like the wet stuff. The wet stuff is nice.
No. Like I did. Okay, I'm terrified of the ocean because I watch a lot of documentaries. You think middle of the goddamn night in a storm, I'm going to land in the Indian Ocean? Fuck. How do your balls fit in your pants, sir? Like, man, no, you couldn't catch me. Nope, I just myself. Fuck it. It's not a seal no more. That's not me.
You just run out. You're like,
Like, not doing it, man.
Yeah, but it's funny because again, like the rules that we maybe bent a little bit. So I had 2 Army guys that were with me in East Africa, and I chose not to take them, and I get shit for this all the time from the Admiral now and some of the Army guys. And my justification at the time was these guys didn't have all the gear they needed. We were jumping into the water at night. They never jumped into the water at night. They had never jumped into the water, period. Like, it was stacking, and then our parachutes are out of date. Like, there's a lot of, like, stacking, compounding factors that, like,
that sounds so good.
we're bending enough rules that I know the guys I've been training with where we can solve the problem. But now bringing in 2 guys that are unfamiliar with a lot of the stuff and the gear shortage and fluid, like, it just wasn't there. So I got a lot of shit for that. But
I mean, it's probably the right call. Like the last thing you want to have to worry about is
and
trying to help some dude get
for what
hurt.
we were doing, the problem we were solving. I had 3 other team guys, I had two other enlisted team guys, a JO that's new to the command, myself, and 2 Air Force guys, CCT and PJ. So like for what we're doing to like just keep the boat from going to the beach, is we were fine. Yeah, I get shit from it, but anyway, where I was. Oh, so we get picked up, got on the Bain Bridge. And I'm a E7, I think, at this time. And Jonas is a E4, brand new to the command. We climb up, go talk to the captain of the boat, and he's like, "Okay, senior or chief, what do you want to do?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know. We're going to keep the boat." He's like, "How do you want to do it?" Like, not realizing what he's asking. He's like, "I've been told that you are in command of this boat." So Jonas and we're in command of the 2 naval assets that are there.
So you're the captain now.
I was the captain.
Holy shit!
How the tides have turned.
And I quickly advocated that back to the captain. I'm like, "Well, what would you do, sir?" He's like, "I would probably do this." I'm like, "That's a pretty good idea. I'll trust your judgment on this."
But it's the most enlisted answer I've ever heard. Hey, bro, what would you do?
Yeah, I'm like, "Let's fire up the Navy guns. Let's go fuck this thing."
Take the ocean canoe that way.
But when with all the other shit going on, he tells you that, you're like, well, how the fuck do I answer this? I know nothing about a Navy ship other than it floats. And it's gray, and there's a whole lot of miserable motherfuckers.
I'm not that kind of Navy. I don't know.
Yeah. There's a whole big tuna can full of miserable dudes.
I guess
Yeah.
I'm gonna come right now. I'm sorry. You're gonna be a meme on Reddit.
Oh, I'm
this
sure.
podcast.
Oh, dude,
It's gonna be that.
Brett is going to love
Yeah,
it.
good thing I don't go on.
Captain now.
I don't go on Reddit, so it's fine. But anyway, so we commenced to keeping the boat from going to shore and work through. And so and I were talking. I probably shouldn't use names, but
We can bleep it.
well, we lost him in extortion, so it doesn't really matter. Awesome dude, and all those guys are awesome. But off track now. But anyway, so we get up there. We spend the next, I don't know, felt like 3 days like doing it. It was probably like a cycle of darkness, but we got there. It's night. We got the ship. We're moving around. We're essentially playing cat and mouse. It's like, I'll use these big ass fucking 8.6 bullets. So this will be good. Can't see it here. Yeah.
I'll move
So,
that.
like that'll be the lifeboat, and then this will be the big ship. All we're doing is like keeping them pushed out to sea. They'd go around us and come back around. We would move the boat around and just like keep them to our. It was a starboard side at that point. Just keep them out to sea. Just keep working around. They would slow down and we would spin back around like this. See, they're getting pissed off. They're out of cot because they chew the cot all the time, and they're out of cot. They're running out of gas. They're getting pissed off, and at the same time, we're talking to our negotiator in New York, the JTTF guys. They're talking to the tribal leadership on the beach, doing all this negotiation. Like, hey, we just want the captain back. I don't give a about the boat or whatever else. You guys can go do whatever you want to do. It's working this, and throughout that course of the day, maybe later that day, like they're out of cot and their batteries are running low on their radios. So we worked through the negotiator, like, hey, let's just resupply you. We don't have cot, but we can bring cigarettes, new batteries, all this shit. They're like, okay, we'll do that. So my team, we dress up in our little blue coverall, navy, not dungos because they weren't dungos at that point, but little blue coveralls, shove our shit down in the corners of the boat, and we're just like easing up to the back of the boat because we don't know where Captain Phillips is. This is post him jumping out of the boat, trying to get away at night. So they've got him in there somewhere. We don't know where he's at. So as we pull up, they crack the thing and come out. They're all powdered up. Their eyeballs are all bloodshot. So the open door, he comes out, get the boat. We're talking to him. We're easing up. And then from my position in the rib, I can see Captain Phillips on the front left side of the boat. He's like rigger taped or flex cuffed to the boat or to the seat. I'm like, okay, perfect. They're not going to untie him to do whatever. So I know wherever we're doing, where he's at. And it was just super sweet because as we go up there and we're talking to those guys, and then we tell the captain, like, hey, Captain, hey, the guys from Virginia Beach are here. And like his demeanor just shifted. Like he understood with all the stress that he was going through, like what that meant. So it's super cool. We did this, pass it off. We fly around. We use the helicopters to kind of keep the boat and all this stuff. That I don't even know if the helicopters were in the movie, but so we launched helicopters to kind of keep them pushed out for a little bit.
I actually don't think the helicopters were.
I've never actually seen the entire movie.
Yeah, so somebody down below just correct us on that on the movie.
Thank you. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. If
Yeah,
you want to
all
hear
that stuff.
More of Terry.
All that stuff. So anyway, then later that night, the cavalry shows up. So the other squadron shows up, and it's funny because I know I've been there long enough. I know what's happening. Like they deployed everybody to come do our first at sea hostage rescue. That exactly why we are who we are. And the captain calls me. He's like, "Hey, so how's it going over there?" I give him the debrief. He's like, "Okay, cool." He's like, "What do you need?" I'm like, "Oh." In my back of my mind, I'm like, they're taking over, but I'm going to pull one. I'm like, they send me like 6 snipers. I think we got it fairly under control, and we'll be done with this by the morning. He just laughs, and he's like, okay, Terry, that's cool, but we're sending a troop plus, and they're taking. I knew they were, but I was like, I had one shot. I'm going to see if I can stay in charge of this thing. But they came over later that night. We debriefed them, gave them the video, told them exactly what all this stuff, like what is going on. And at this point, my guys have been up for a while. So we're like, okay, let's go. These guys here, they have it. We'll take a nap, whatever else, down our gear. And I don't know how long I'm asleep. Not long, but you get that kind of like, I wonder what the fuck's going on. Go by, and as I'm walking through the little back area, like gear stage, I'm like, I don't see anybody. There's like nobody's in there. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So I just happen to grab my nods and my helmet and my gun. I'm like, just natural, I guess, at this point. Go out to the fantail, and everybody's lined up, and the boat's under tow, and it's dark out, and like I see these guys laying down, and my buddy, he's the troop chief for the sniper guys. Like, oh, perfect timing. Why don't you jump in here with this guy? With 2 guys per. At this point, we'd already pulled one of those guys off that stabbed himself. So we got three pirates, Captain Phillips, boat's under tow. It's at night. And like everybody's online. It's like, okay, what are we doing? It's like, well, they're just like playing Papa Weasel. We get 1 up, then 2 up, then 1 will go down, and another one comes. It's just like this whack-a-mole shit. It's like if we ever get them, like all 3, when we left Africa, we jumped in, that was our kind of our ROEs. Like if you can guarantee 100% that you can solve the problem, you guys can solve the problem. So I lay down, and I'm probably not very long there, and it's like all of a sudden, like this guy's up, that guy's up, that guy's up. Everybody checks in, like, we're good. And they're like, all right, 3, 2, 1, boom. Problem solved. Guys slide for life down in there, rescues Captain Phillips, and the rest is a movie.
Holy Jesus. Fuck,
It's like
dude.
perfect time. Like, it's funny because it's funny because
Your
everybody's like,
entire fan base is just gonna be.
Bro, that is the quietest
Yeah.
Unsub has been for
Yeah.
a long time. We're like,
it's funny because I'm like, I just happen to wake up. I'm like, oh, what the fuck's going on? I better grab my gun just in case for whatever. I'm on a f***ing boat. Why do I need my gun? I just happened, luckily, showed up at the right time, and they had
you're
a
just
spot.
like
for me.
stretch out.
Oh, you guys
Time
ready
to
for
off
me
some
now?
pirates.
But I mean, yeah, everybody there was awesome, and I'll probably get shit because like, oh fuck, we were there, and it's funny because on our side of it, internally to us, like the squadron that shows up never wants to admit that we were there before them. So like all the different stuff is no mention of us or anything else. But
I love how you're so good at your job that you just kind of like casually glossed over the whole 3 shots on 3 different people on a moving boat to another moving boat, and the problem was solved.
Oh, dude,
Like,
yesterday.
that's a lot of variables for one shot.
that's what we train for. I mean, we train it, and we learned this over the years. Like we train at such a high level that no matter what happens on target or whatever's going on, it's less than what we train to. So it's like, oh, not really stressful. Like, okay, lasers at fucking night. You got nods, just a whole laser on dude's head. It's like, are you guys ready? Okay, yeah, let's go.
How far of the shot was it? Like,
It was, I mean,
if
I've
you
drank-
had to guesstimate, you know,
I've drank a lot since then. So somewhere in that 50 to 75, maybe.
that's still
Maybe, I
a
don't know.
damn
That-
good shot like that. And
Yeah.
at night, with your
It
lasers
wasn't
had
my.
to
It
be on.
wasn't.
I like how you down.
like to,
Yesterday you were
Yeah.
down playing. You look, Kevin, you could hit that. It's like standing pistol shot.
Just offhand, just fucking.
Left-handed,
Yeah.
eyes closed.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't a difficult shot at all, and that's we train that shit all the time. So it's like 3, 2, 1, execute, and done.